Hello everybody, this is the Vikström. Today we're going to talk about violence in movies. Now, I am a huge advocate of having, violence and gore and blood in movies when it is called for. Used correctly, violence and gore can be a very useful tool in your toolbox. The thing is, I hate movies that are rated PG-13 that is supposed to be an R rating, of a movie. With that said, this movie was really not meant for me. Around the time of, the late 2000s, a lot of movies came out that was sort of Japanese action comedy, sci-fi movies that was, very gory. They played a lot with how much gore they could, get into one movie. Robo Geisha, Tokyo Gore Police. I saw these movies, I didn't see those movies, but I saw the trailers for them, and I said to myself, this is not really my type of movie. I ended up only watching one of these silly movies, and that was Machine Girl, the movie we're gonna take a look at today. The thing is that, in short, this movie could have been a good movie. In short, I think this movie could have been kind of cool, but for some reason it wasn't. Let's find out if we can locate the problem with this movie, shall we? This is Machine Girl. She is your normal Japanese high school girl who, having normal, teenage problems and stuff like that. But one of her problems is the fact that her brother gets murdered by bullies. Now, incensed by this, she tries to, take revenge on them herself. It, however, backfires severely because, they cut off her arm. Damn. And wounded, she, hides out at some guys, and while they cannot, attach her arm back, they can attach a multi-barrel machine gun to it. So now she's go off to, fight off these people that apparently is some kind of Yakuza ninja clan kind of a thing. That's why, the bullies felt that, they could get away with murder, I suppose. So now we have a revenge plot with, this girl with her, machine gun thingy. So, as I said in the beginning, I am not against gore. I am not against blood or violence for that matter. But this one kind of didn't work. The same thing could be said for Robo Geisha and Tokyo Gore Police. They're very gimmicky. They have these kind of checklists. We have to do, these kind of silly things, and we have to get as close we can to, the violence and the gore so that people see, all the details and stuff like that. And the trailers kind of explains why I don't like them, because they're letting the violence dictate the story, not the other way around. So we are having all of these things that, one of the ninja Yakuza people, she's some kind of a, crazy lady who has a bra with, drills on it. And in the trailer it's drill bra. It's sort of, well, duh, it's stupid. Anyway, this movie has the type of gore that I just found a bit disgusting and a bit off-putting and also a bit boring, because they go so far, towards the look how silly and incredibly stupid this looks, and I just said, yeah, you're kind of right about that. Because, when they're shooting people and their flesh falls off and their bones falls off and stuff like that, it A, looks bad, B, takes too long time, and C, isn't really funny. If you're gonna have a really fun, gory movie, Brain Dead by Peter Jackson is, the gold standard. That is a funny gore movie. This is not. And I just got really bored with the whole story. It is like a, Wish version of Planet Terror that came out the year before this one came out, and I'm thinking they probably got a little bit inspired, even though, the director has said that this was apparently, a vision he had, of a one-armed bikini-clad girl taking revenge. But they switched around for high school girl with multiple things attached to her hand, because it's not just a machine gun. We're gonna have other crazy stuff. But there was one scene in this movie that I thought worked really well, because that was toying with our expectations. Because good old machine girl, she has killed a bunch of people, and she kills one of the henchmen. At least I think he was a henchman. That was what it came off as. One of the cronies, one of the stooges, one of the flunkies. But when they're burying the henchman, I've never seen the burial of a henchman before. They cry over the dead henchman and vows revenge for the henchman. I think this one lends itself to so much comedy, because apart from those sequences in the first Austin Powers movies where the henchman was killed and their families mourns about them, I don't think I've ever seen that used, and that is an untapped source for great comedy. The thing is that the stop-start flow of this movie made the movie kind of boring, and because when you didn't have the gore and the violence, the movie kind of dragged and was kind of uninteresting. And when we had the gore and the super over-the-top extreme violence, then it was kind of, well, I've seen this, only I thought it was gonna be better. The special effects aren't that good. I think this movie suffers greatly for having a too low budget. Maybe that's why they hired porn stars for some of the roles. I don't know. What I do know is that there are people who do appreciate these type of movies. I think there is an audience out there who really, really likes these type of movies. And I can't blame them. I think that for the right mindset, and this is a very niche product, but if you do like these kind of a thing, I think you will find plenty of enjoyment in this movie. This was just not for me. I think this movie has some creativity to it, but it just didn't have enough creativity to really, function. By the way, is this movie the new world record holder for most upskirt shots in movie history? I think it took over the crown from Taxi 2. This movie, I was kind of split on, because on the one hand it's kind of entertaining and it does have its own style, even though it is the same as Robo-Geisha and Tokyo Gore Police. But it is also kind of boring sometimes, and it is also kind of lame, and it is also kind of uninteresting because the characters kind of suck and the acting isn't great. In the end, I settled with 42 points. I don't know if I'm being generous or if I'm being harsh on it. I really don't know, but 42 is a number I can definitely live with. So have you seen these Japanese gore movies? Are there anybody that is good out there, that I might have missed? Comment below and I'll see you next time from, well, so-and-so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.